This evening is the Dwight D. Eisenhower Fitness Award. This year's winner is Mr. Fairfax Hackley, who will be presented the Eisenhower Award by trustee Dr. Gary Cunningham. Mr. Hackley and Dr. Cunningham, please come forward. The Eisenhower Award is given annually to a person who has shown outstanding individual or cumulative achievement in fitness and has contributed to the growth and development of sports fitness through outstanding leadership activity. This year's winner, Mr. Fairfax Hackley, was a multi-sport athlete throughout his youth and college who went on to compete in bodybuilding. He won 12 class titles in the sport and later served as a judge and director of the Mr. America contest. In more than 20 years in the sport, he has won silver and gold medals for excellence in administration. He has worked closely with the Arnold Sports Festival as a director of arm wrestling and as a member of the International Sports Hall of Fame. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the United States Sports Academy's Dwight D. Eisenhower Fitness Award, Fairfax Hackley. Mr. Hackley.
In the words of someone that I'm very, very close to, this is the nicest award that I've gotten so far today. And I really enjoy speaking like this because it's a special occasion and I don't always get an opportunity to come to a place named Daphne. Had you been named Maria, it would have been a whole different story. I like to say how truly humbled I am to be here today. How many of you knew me before I was given such an illustrious introduction? Okay, well, let me introduce myself. My name is Fairfax Hackley. I signed my name Fairfax Hackley 212. Does anyone know what that means? That's the temperature at which water boils. I'm on fire. So if you were wondering how excited I am to be here today, I just let you know. You know, it took me exactly 24 years to get here. It was a long journey. And that journey began when I met Dr. Tom backstage at the Mr. Olympia. 1993. And I was so humbled by the experience because I was introduced by Dr. Ben Weeder, who was also honored by this wonderful academy. And at that point, I wanted to get a PhD from this wonderful school. And Ben offered to pay for my tuition. Of course, you know, I was so happy about that, but life got in the way. And I got married. Not that that was a bad thing at the time. And later on I had a son, but we had fertility problems and I bought a house. And then in 2000, my dad came to visit me and for my birthday, which he always would do every year. And a day later, he was bleeding from the rectum and lying on a hospital gurney. He laid there for 6 weeks. I became his advocate. Exactly 2 hours after I learned that my dad had cancer, my ex-wife asked for a divorce. It's probably one of the toughest things that I've ever had to endure in my life. Of course, you know, when you get a divorce, you divide up all the assets, and what I wanted to put towards earning this PhD was definitely put on the back burner. And then you have child support, you have legal fees. And then another strange thing happened. I raised the money, and then I had to take in my grandmother. And she was 94 at the time. And she was able to take care of herself, thank God, and she got around. And but then the medical bills began to pile up, and I had to sell my place, and I had to liquidate a lot of other things, and so didn't have the money again. But you know, there's an old expression. God gives you what you need, not what you want. And I wanted that PhD, but I ended up with something just as good. I got a DDE, the Dwight David Eisenhower Award. So it did take me 24 years to get here. But remember, if you see a turtle on top of a fence post, you know that he had help getting there. Someone helped him get there. And I had some people, Dr. Bob Goldman, Dr. T, and I had a very special moment this year, which the Versandich family got to enjoy. You know, when you endure like I've endured, and when you go through, it comes a time in your life where you reach back and you say thank you for the people who inspired you. And many of you know Dr. Goldman, and he is the president and CEO of the International Sports Hall of Fame. He pays for that out of his own pocket. And I'm literally his right-hand man. He pays for the bills, and I'm the guy who does all the vetting and brings in the people. So he called me up one night, and he said, I'd like to induct a very special person. I said, who is that? And he said, Dr. T. And I said, well, you can't do that. There was silence on the end of the phone. And finally, he came to his senses. He said, why not? I said, because you're the president and CEO. You can't do that. That's a conflict of interest, but I can do it. And believe you me, I waited 24 years for that moment to be able to do that. And that was so, so special. Tears were rolling down my eyes because I said to Dr. Bob over the phone, I said, I, Fairfax Hackley, I'd like to induct Dr. Tom for what he's done for me. Class of 2017, excuse me, into the International Sports Hall of Fame. Do I get a second? You get a second. If you were on the other end of that phone, I'd like to hear you all say, all those in favor say aye. Aye. And, you know, I have a background in martial arts and bodybuilding, so there was not going to be one person who was going to deny him that opportunity. So like the turtle, by the inch it's a cinch, by the yard it's hard, by the mile take a while. And I'm here finally. And I said, this is probably, without a doubt, you know, one of the most special things that ever happened to me in my life. And it's special because it was just like your experience. When I got the envelope in the mail, I thought it was the order of the hoodie that I had put in. And I had gotten a hoodie earlier, and due to a laundry accident, it got bleached out. And my red hoodie now looked like peppermint or a bad Santa Claus outfit. So I crawled up Christy. Everybody knows Christy. And I said, Christy, I need a new hoodie. And she said, what did you do with the one that you had? And I said, you don't want to know. Everybody's been telling me to lighten up, but I did such a good job, I messed up my sweatshirt. So she said, well, we're going to send you a new hoodie, but beware that a package is going to come in the mail for you in a couple of days. So I want you to call us and get that package. So I'm thinking everyone, you know, they were going to throw in a free hat. You know, there's a reason why I shaved my head, so all of you can see what I'm thinking. So when the envelope did finally arrive, I didn't open it right away because I said, this is not a package, this is an envelope. Finally, I pulled to the side of the road and I opened up the envelope and began to read it. And I couldn't get past the first paragraph. So what do you do when you're from Washington? The first thing you do is call your attorney. And she thought something was wrong. And she said, what's the matter? And I started to read words, and of course I couldn't get the words out. And she said, you're kidding me. I said, no. She said, no way. I said, yes way. She said, I said, uh-huh. She said, no, they didn't. I said, yes, they did. And then I proceeded to take off. And all I could think about at that moment was my dad, who passed away. And he passed away 13 years ago in October. My grandmother passed away 5 years ago in October. And in October, it was 10 years ago that I last saw my son. So I realized that I didn't have anyone who who I could really share this moment with, but that's not true because I see a room full of people with a lot of eyes on me right now that have made this moment very special for me, and especially for the fact that I got to honor Dr. T. So again, there's one other person I'd like to honor in light of the fact that I won this award, the Dwight David Eisenhower for Fitness. I was born in 1953, the year he was president. You know, he helped desegregate the military. I'm a former Marine. It's Veterans Day this weekend. So I'm thinking about a person who had the biggest impact in my early life. Was my first grade teacher who taught me the meaning of the Star-Spangled Banner and the Pledge of Allegiance. I grew up in Harlem, folks. But I never forgot the very first lesson that Mr. Belay taught us was how to stand and take our right hand and cover our heart. And you couldn't close your eyes. You couldn't look away from the flag. Your hands were to your side. Your feet were together. You didn't look around the room. We didn't kneel. We didn't bow our heads. We didn't sit down. And the first day was spent learning the Pledge of Allegiance, which says, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands. Again, didn't say kneel, didn't say sit. And so I knew from that point forward, my next lesson was to learn the Star-Spangled Banner. And any athlete will tell you that if they play that for you, when you win a championship or in a game or at the Olympics, there's only one way that you should stand, and that's as straight as you can. I will never, ever, ever disrespect the flag of the United States, because as a matter of fact, I'm always wearing one somewhere on my body. And if I go into a room where there isn't one, and I have my flag with me, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. And again, it's a great honor to not only be here and be able to tell you that not only am I the winner of the Dwight David Eisenhower Award, but today I've become a visiting professor to tell you how important it is to keep our country right, to keep our country strong, and to let you know and remind you of what we stand for, what this school stands for, what I stand for, what you stand for. So again, if you have any problems with the initials USSA, it really means, besides the United States Sports Academy, you something special. Thank you very much. God bless, and God bless America.